Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So I finally did it. After a couple of years trying to track down the original 62 Goosebumps books, I now have all of them in my collection. Now, mind you, it is not all the original first printings, but that doesn't mean anything to me. We have some with these like newer reprint covers. We actually have a number of them from the UK as well. So lots of different options here. But hey, the stories are all there, and I am so happy to now have all 62 original Goosebumps books in my collection. So I figured what better way to celebrate that than by doing essentially a collection tour of my entire Goosebumps book collection. So not only will we look at the original 62, which is where we'll start, I'll also look at all of the other Goosebumps books I have. So looking at everything over here, it is a ridiculous amount. There is around 120 or so books here to go through today. So let's just do it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on all of these. I haven't read all of these, of course. I have read, a handful of them, but basically, I'm just going to show you guys what's in my Goosebumps collection today, and then who knows, maybe a year from now, it'll grow from here. I have no idea, but either way, excited to share this with you guys. So if we have a second though, before you get into this, please hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my Goosebumps collection tour. So I'm going to go through these all in numerical order, so spine order. So let's just get into this here. So I have book number 1, Welcome to Dead House. Obviously you can see this is a newer cover, which is fine. And this is one, I hate the ones that don't have the spine number on the side. Like, that bugs me so much. Like, just put the spine number on. Who cares? Anyway, Welcome to Dead House is number 1. One I definitely have read, just like number 2, Stay Out of the Basement. This one is okay. Welcome to Dead House is better in my opinion, but Stay Out of the Basement is pretty decent as well. And then we have Monster Blood, one of the more like long-running series in this in the Goosebumps line. Then we have Say Cheese and Die, another one where there are just a bunch of sequels. This is actually a really good one as well. One of the ones that I've read relatively recently and really enjoyed. Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, another really good one. I'm not the biggest fan of mummy stories, but Stein does that one really well. Then we have Let's Get Invisible, spine number 6. I've already lost track. Let's Get Invisible. Never read that one. One of my all-time favorite books, Night of the Living Dummy. This is spine number 7, right? Yeah, spine number 7. I love this. Slappy is my favorite character. I actually had the Summer of Slappy back in 2021, reading through a lot of his books, not all of them, but a good number of them. And Night of the Living Dummy is a lot of fun. Arguably, the sequels are even better, but who knows? That's just opinion. The Girl Who Cried Monster. Welcome to Camp Nightmare, spine number 9. I really love that cover. It's just creepy and awesome. And then book number 10, The Ghost Next Door, which is what the original Goosebumps film with Jack Black is based off of. Another one with a fun cover, even though it is a reprint. Then we have The Haunted Mask, another kind of mascot for, the Goosebumps line. I love this cover. Great book as well. And then Be Careful What You Wish For. This is spine number 12. Never have I read that one. I said that weird. I've never read that one. Then we have Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. I love these original books. The Tim I always mess up his name. Tim Jacobus art is fantastic. The Werewolf of Fever Swamp, one of the best covers out there. I love it. And then You Can't Scare Me is spine number 15. So those are the first 15. Let me grab another stack here. Spine number 16 is one of my favorite books that I've read in this series. This is One Day at HorrorLand, a genuinely creepy book for a middle grade horror book. I think that one's awesome. The premise is fantastic at the amusement park. It's just great. Why I'm Afraid of Bees, spine number 17. You think I'd remember what the spine number is since I'm going in order, but alas, here we are. The first sequel, Monster Blood 2. I've only read the original, I think, in the Monster Blood books. I've not read any of the sequels. Then we have Deep Trouble. This was always one of my favorite covers growing up because it's just so creepy, very Jaws-esque, and I love that. That's Deep Trouble. Then we have The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. I actually just read this one a week ago now, maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's actually quite good. I really like this one. It is pretty creepy and just, I don't know, it's a well-written story. Then we have Go Eat Worms, another kind of iconic cover in my eyes. And then we have Ghost Beach. This is a great book. It's one of my good friends, one of his favorite books in the series. I loved it as well. Just another great one. I wish I had the original cover art on this because it's excellent, and I've been meaning to pick up the new shirt. They have like a Ghost Beach shirt at Journey. I gotta go pick it up. I actually tried yesterday, but they didn't have my size. So anyway, Return of the Mummy, another sequel. And then we have Phantom of the Auditorium, another one with just an awesome cover that I love. And then we have Attack of the Mutant. This is spine number 25. And then My Hairiest Adventure, spine number 26. I like that cover as well. A Night in Terror Tower, another one. One of the original movies, I believe, was A Night in Terror Tower. Not the first one, I think that was Haunted Mask, but one of the first few, if nothing else. The Cuckoo Clock of Doom, spine number 28. Then we have Monster Blood 3, the first of the trilogies here. Monster Blood 3. Then It Came From Beneath the Sink, another one. This was a late one I've picked up, but very happy to have that in the collection now. And then Night of the Living Dummy 2. I love this sequel. It is excellent. So great, another great stack of books there. That takes us to the halfway point, actually. So spine number 32 is The Barking Ghost. And I remember reading this one with my grandma when I was younger. I really liked that one. The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam. I need to read this one soon because it's one that, like, the cover was always really cool to me, and I've always been intrigued what it's about. Another one, this is like probably the one that's in the worst condition in my collection, but another one I remember reading with my grandma. This is Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes, a really good one that does have some sequels as well. Then we have A Shocker on Shock Streak. I remember specifically getting this from the Scholastic Guide when I was in elementary school. Not that version, of course. I had the original at that point. But yeah, just another one I remember from my childhood. And then The Haunted Mask 2. And it says, watch Goosebumps on Fox Kids TV, which you better believe I absolutely did. And then we have The Headless Ghost. Kind of a generic one to me, the title and the cover art on that. And then The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena, another one I remember getting from the Scholastic Guide when I was in school. And then we have spine number 39, How I Got My Shrunken Head. Another shout out to my buddy for picking up that one for me while he was out and about. And then Night of the Living Dummy 3, another one of my favorites in the Goosebumps line. Spine number 41, Bad Hair Day. And then spine number 42, Egg Monsters from Mars. I love that cover. It's just goopy and fun. And then we have The Beast from the East. I don't know, this one's just cool too. I like that cover quite a bit, even though it's the reprinted cover. This is Say Cheese and Die Again. Another one, a little bit of a messed up one, has a little torn out edge. So if that can, replace some of these reprinted reprints with originals, I'll do that. If I can replace some of these kind of mediocre covers down the line, I'll probably do that as well. Then we have Ghost Camp. I love this one too. Just the shirts and the hats walking away is always fun. How to Kill a Monster, spine number 46. I love the color on that one. I think it looks great. Legend of the Lost Legend, one of the 5 books that was not reprinted. So this was very lucky to find this original Legend of the Lost Legend. That's spine number 47. Again, one of only 5 that were not reprinted. And then we have Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns, another one with just an excellent cover. And then Vampire Breath. I like that cover, even though it's the reprint. I think that's really cool too. Speaking of the 5 that never got reprinted, I forgot to point out Phantom of the Auditorium. This is spine number 24. This was the other one of the first 2 that did not get reprinted. The last 3 of the 5 are at the very end. Okay, back at it here. We have spine number 50, Calling All Creeps, another favorite cover of mine. I think it looks so great. Then we have Beware the Snowman, always reminding me of Jack Frost. I think that's really fun. How I Learned to Fly. This one is Chicken Chicken. A lot of these later ones I just haven't read yet. Don't Go to Sleep. This is actually a UK cover. Or no, I'm sorry, a Canada cover for that one. Don't Go to Sleep. Then we have The Blob That Ate Everyone. I definitely need to get around to that because I'm sure it's going to be very reminiscent of the movie The Blob. This is The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. And then My Best Friend is Invisible. That cat on there always cracked me up. And then we have Deep Trouble 2, another one of the late ones I picked up. I believe that was also because of my buddy finding it, so I was very happy about that. Then we have The Haunted School. And then some, actually, okay, yes, here are the last three, and these were all three that were not reprinted, and so all three of these are UK covers. This is Werewolf Skin, spine number 60. Spine number 62, I Live in Your Basement. Normally like a $30+ book if you find it on eBay. My buddy found it for like $2, so that was awesome. And then last but not least, Monster Blood 4, spine number 62, and another one of the UK covers. So that is the original 62 in my collection. I am so thankful to my buddy for helping me out. I found most of these in the wild. I think 8 of them I ended up ordering off of eBay because I just wasn't finding them in stores. But yeah, like a couple years in the making, so I'm very happy to have all 62 of those originals. But let's not stop there. I have a whole bunch of other Goosebumps books as well, so let's talk about those next. So let's stick with some of the mainline series first, and the next series was Goosebumps 2000, and I unfortunately don't have that many in this series, but I do have a few. So this is spine number 2, Bride of the Living Dummy, and this is actually an original that I purchased way back when it came out because I love Slappy, so anything Living Dummy I was getting. This is spine number 13, Return to Horrorland. And then we have spine number, which is this one, 17, which is The Werewolf in the Living Room. Just a fantastic cover there. And then we have a reprint. So I'm not entirely sure what spine number this is, but this is The Haunted Car. Going to be very Christine-like, I'm sure. And then the last one I have is spine number 23, which is Slappy's Nightmare. Another one that I did read last year during my summer of Slappy. So those are the only ones I have from Goosebumps 2000. So not that many, but some strong ones in there because of all the Slappy books. Let's move over now to Goosebumps HorrorLand. And this is such a unique series because they're technically novellas where the first half or so, maybe the first 3/4 of the book are like what the cover art is about. But then there's a story at the end about usually those characters arriving at Horrorland and what happens when they're at Horrorland, the amusement park. And so it's really odd and unique, but it's kind of cool. So I actually just added 4 books to this portion of my collection last night. So I'm not going to put these in a book haul just because I have them here. So what's the point? But we'll actually start off with spine number 1, which is Revenge of the Living Dummy. And then we have spine number 2, Creep from the Deep. These ones also have some really good cover art. Spine number 3, which is Monster Blood for Breakfast. So another sequel. Then we have The Scream of the Haunted Mask. Again, a sequel. Spine number 5, which is Dr. Maniac versus Robbie Schwartz. One of the more ridiculous names in the series here. Then we have spine number 6, Who's Your Mummy? I really like that cover art. Spine number 7 is My Friends Call Me Monster. And spine number 8, Say Cheese and Die Screaming. So another of the Say Cheese and Die franchise. So love that. And then I skip all the way to book number 18, which is Slappy New Year because it's Slappy. So of course I have that one in my collection. So that's Horrorland. And then from there, there's actually, it's called Hall of Horrors. And from what I can tell, they're related. I don't think I've read any books in the Hall of Horrors series, but we'll go through those next. I have spine number 1, which is Claws. And then spine number 2, which is Night of the Giant Everything, which is just fun. And then spine number 3, which is The 5 Masks of Dr. Scream. And that is this cool, like, special edition one. I don't know if they're all like that or not, but I thought that was pretty cool. So that is Goosebumps Hall of Horrors, which again, I believe is related in some way to Goosebumps Horrorland. And then from there, we'll move over to the Most Wanted series. Another one here, it starts off with a sequel. This is Goosebumps Most Wanted, Planet of the Lawn Gnomes, and that is spine number 1 in that series. And then we have spine number 2, Son of Slappy. These ones don't feel like they came out that long ago. I remember seeing them in Target. Here is spine number 4, so I'm missing spine number 3. This is Frankenstein's Dog. I love that cover there. And then we have spine number 6, Creature Teacher, The Final Exam. I want to say that's a sequel, but I'm not 100% positive. Then we have spine number 7, A Nightmare on Clown Street, which just looks creepy and I love it. And then spine number 8, Night of the Puppet People. So those are the, however many there were here, 6 or so that I have from the Most Wanted series. So yeah, like I said, I don't think these ones are too terribly old. Let me see what year the last one I have came out. 2015, yeah, so not that old at all. So those are my Most Wanted books. And then the most recent is, I believe, SlappyWorld. I think that's the one that's going on right now. I only have the first 3 spines in here, but this is Slappy Birthday to You, which is spine number 1. And then we have Attack of the Jack, which I don't know why I like that cover. It's silly, but I do. And then the last one I have from this series is I Am Slappy's Evil Twin. So only 3 books in the SlappyWorld series, but hey, I have Slappy, and that's really all that matters to me. 2 of the 3 are Slappy related, so I'm down. This next one is a weird one. I used to own a whole bunch of these way back in the day, but of course I ended up selling them over the years, but I have found 2 recently. This is Goosebumps Presents TV book number 6, My Hairiest Adventure, and number 13, Ghost Beach. So these are so weird because they are novelizations of the TV series, which of course were based on the original series books. So I don't know, just such a weird thing. And most of these have pictures on the inside, which is cool, as you can see there. But I'm just noticing now that for whatever reason, My Hairiest Adventure does not have any pictures inside. So those are the only 2 I own in the TV book series, but I would love to have more of these if I see them in the wild moving forward. I believe I'm only missing 1 book out of this Tales of series. So these are short story collections. This is special edition number 1, Tales to Give You Goosebumps. Another one that I've owned since I was young. And this is like the legit copy I had when I was younger. And then we have more Tales to Give You Goosebumps, which is special edition number 2. And then special edition number 4, still more Tales to Give You Goosebumps. Now, if I'm not mistaken, out of this series, I believe there's only 3. And I obviously, you know, special edition number 3 is the one I'm missing. So I definitely need to add that one to my collection to fill up my Tales of series. But yeah, so pretty cool to have these ones. I've never read any of R.L. Stine's short stories before, so this would be a perfect place to start. 2 more runs in this Goosebumps franchise that I have a decent amount of books in, and I'll start with these because I think these are so cool. I loved these when I was younger, and fortunately I held on to some of these because if I'm not mistaken, some of these are quite expensive nowadays. This is the Tales to Give Yourself Goosebumps line. Let me grab these real quick. So I don't have all of them, unfortunately, but I do have a good number of them. This is spine number 1, Escape from the Carnival of Horrors. I loved this when I was younger. One of my favorites. Absolutely so much fun to read. And then spine number 2, TikTok, You're Dead. Spine number 3, which is Trapped in Batwing Hall. I guess I should have mentioned it. These are choose your own adventure stories. So if you've not read any of these, they're so much fun. If you like choose your own adventure, these are must-haves. This one is The Deadly Experiments of Dr. Eek. Love that with the gorilla on the cover there. Just so cool. And then spine number 5, Night in Werewolf Woods, excuse me. Another one with just a legendary cover. And then number 6, Beware of the Purple Peanut Butter. That one looks like a lot of fun. I've not read that one yet. Actually, this is one I picked up relatively recently as well. And then we have number 7, Under the Magician's Spell. And then number 8, The Curse of the Creeping Coffin. That's so cool. And then last but not least, I'm going to jump over to number 13, which is Stream of the Evil Genie. And what I also love about these, like, that's so 90s, the way that lenticular is there. It's just so cool. So yeah, I have the first 8, it looks like, and then I jump over to number 13 in this series. So there are over 20 of these, if I'm not mistaken. I would love to get them at some point, but I don't know. It's not anything I'm going to like go on eBay and buy, because like I said, I think these ones are relatively expensive out there. So yeah, very happy that I was able to hold on to a good handful of these, not still more. What are these called again? Give Yourself Goosebumps books. This last series, I actually didn't even know it existed way back in the day, and I found some of these recently, within the last year and a half here, when I was at Second and Charles. Someone turned in like their entire collection of them. Now, I have very kind of like miscellaneous books throughout this series, but these are really cool. And I'm only including them here in my Goosebumps collection tour because they're middle grade, so they kind of feel more like Goosebumps than Fear Street, as their namesake indicates. But this is the Ghosts of Fear Street series. So again, it technically is not Goosebumps, but it feels more Goosebumpsy because it is middle grade. And a lot of these were actually ghost written, so not R.L. Stine himself. But anyway, this is spine number 4, Nightmare in 3D, which is just a fantastic cover. That praying mantis, that's just so cool. I love that. And then we have spine number 6, Eye of the Fortune Teller. Spine number 7, which is Fright Night. I love the name and I like the cover. That's just really cool. And then we have spine number 8. This is the Ooze. It reminds me of one of the other covers I showed earlier, that Dr. whichever one it was. I don't remember, the Dr. Eeks or whatever, with the cat on the cover. That's the Ooze. And then we have spine number 11, The Boy Who Ate Fear Street. Awesome. Gotta love it. Spine number 15, Fright Christmas. Very cool cover on that one. Gotta read that around Christmas time, I guess. And we have spine number 16, Don't Ever Get Sick at Granny's, with a creepy grandma on the front. That's awesome. And then spine number 21, The Creature from Club Lagoon. Spine number 24, Monster Dog. I love that. I don't know. I think that dog's super cute. And then we have a new cover style here. This is spine number 26. Go to Your Tomb Right Now. Dreadful title of the book, but yeah, this is the new cover style. And then we have spine number 27, Parents from the 13th Dimension. And I'll also mention this cover style, not very good. I do not like these covers compared to some of the originals in this line. And then they switch covers again at number 28, and they get even worse from there. This is Hide and Shriek 2, with just, oh, what an ugly cover on that one, but it is what it is. Spine number 29, The Tale of the Blue Monkey. This one's not terrible, but you don't get a whole lot going on, so yeah, is what it is. Oh man, look at this one. This is spine number 30. I was a 6th grade zombie, excuse me. Like, oh, look at that. Just soak that in. That is a thing of nightmares there. And then we have spine number 31, Escape of the He-Beast, another one that is just atrocious. That thing is so ugly. Anyway, last but not least here, spine number 32, Caution, Aliens at Work. So like I said, these covers changed quite a lot over the years as they were being released for whatever reason, probably just, different markets at the time, and they got uglier and uglier as it went on. But I have a good number of them. I just have no rhyme or reason to them. So yeah, one that I'll probably never collect the whole series of, because these are pretty expensive when you find them. So yeah, I got lucky and found them cheap at Second and Charles. But yeah, anyway, not technically Goosebumps, but they feel like they're more Goosebumps than Fear Street because they're aimed at a middle grade audience. And then the very last one here, it's not Goosebumps, but I have to show it because it feels in that same vein. This is the Autobiography from R.L. Stine. It Came from Ohio, My Life as a Writer. So you can see the artwork here is just awesome, very much in the old school style. I have no idea if Jacobus did this or not, but you know what? I feel like he may have, because I think this was originally released in like 96 or 97, but this is the 2015 reprint, so I'm sure it's not the original cover art. But either way, I just found out recently that there's actually one from Jacobus, I keep saying his name different ways, I apologize, the artist on the original series. But he has one as well that I need to find. But yeah, It Came from Ohio. Thanks again to my buddy Chris for finding this one for me recently and sending it my way. Just a really cool one that I didn't have for whatever reason. So My Life as a Writer, It Came from Ohio is going to wrap up my entire Goosebumps and Goosebumps related collection tour. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Not a lot of depth here, but I wanted to show you guys what my Goosebumps collection look like currently, and then maybe we'll do this again in a year or two if I get a bunch more books to make it worth doing. But I would love to hear from you guys down in the comments below. First and foremost, what is your favorite cover that you saw today? Which of these do you put at the top of your list? I know there's a lot of Goosebumps fans out there like myself, so let me know what your favorite Goosebumps cover is from the original series or any of these you looked at today. And then also, let me know if there's a particular run within Goosebumps that you think is the best of the best. Like, is Goosebumps Series 2000 the next one I should complete? Let me know what your thoughts are on that and anything else down in the comments below. I always appreciate all that support down there, so thanks so much for that. But as always, guys, if you did enjoy this one, please hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. And like I always say, I don't just talk books, I talk all things media. Be it books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.